everyone. We are back with Glen Velvet Reviews today. Sorry for the echo. As you know, if you're following along with the video, we are, turning over one of the apartments that we got going on. So we are, refreshing and stuff, and there's no furniture or anything in this apartment. So pretty much, you hear the echo. So sorry about that. But anyway, so at this location, guys, we want to put on a new outdoor light, okay, at the top of the stairs. The one that's there, I guess the people were moving in. I don't know if it was these tenants or the other tenants, or I don't know, who did what, or if it was downstairs tenants. I don't know who did anything. But someone broke the light, I guess, while they were carrying the furniture, on the hand truck, and there's a light outside. Someone busted it off, and I had to screw it in, but now it's kind of, stupid looking. So instead of that, I was like, maybe let's get something a little bit newer, a little bit more, nicer looking and stuff. And I like to, sometimes, or even my tenants sometimes, as from what I saw, they asked me, they like to put lights outside for the holidays and stuff for their kids or whatever. So this has outlets on it, so if they want to do that, they can plug in the lights, and that's awesome. So we're really happy about that. Pretty much coming right there. That's the width and the size. Okay, and the numbers right there. You guys can pause that. You guys know how I like to put the, measuring instruments in my videos. This way you guys can just scale everything a little bit easier. It helps you guys out. I notice it helps me out. So this one's a dusk till dawn as well, because currently it is on a timer. We wanted to try to get rid of the timer. This way you don't got to keep setting it, because, daylight savings, we still have that going on. I don't know if I thought we were getting rid of it, but I don't, maybe that was just hearsay. Who knows what goes on these days. Pretty much for daylight savings times, you already know if you guys have timers for your outdoor lights or anything like that, you have to change them, you know what I mean, to compensate for, outside, especially if you have tenants and stuff, because your safety, you know what I mean, it's up to you for their safety, you know what I mean, you're providing, a house, a shelter, whatever for them, and they are paying you for that service. So you have to, everything has to be up to code and safety and stuff like that. Not like, at my house or your house, you're like, whatever, you know what I mean? But, when it's other people, then you kind of have to do stuff differently. Just, that's the way the market is. Here's the instruction manual, okay? If you lose yours, you can give that a pause. Hopefully, yeah, you guys can see that perfectly, okay? So that's what it does look like. I thought it was a pretty smart idea to get this one. There we go, okay. All right, guys, so there you go. If you lose your instructions now, you can just come to the video. That's the reason why I like to always put the, instructions in all my videos, because, you go online, you can get them online at the websites, but at least you see the product itself in the background, with the instructions, so you know what's going on, what you're looking at, you can move the video around, pause it, forward it, or whatever. All right, guys, so it pretty much, comes out of the box just like that, which is cool, a lot of foam on there, so let's open this up. Whoa, scared the shit out of me. All right, guys, let's move in a little bit closer there so we can see what they give us in the packaging, and so we know what's up. They got the mounting screws in here that would go mount to your box, because you do have to mount this to a box, you know what I mean? Some kind of metal box or whatever they have, depending on your code. Everything's up to your state and local code. You always have to follow that. So the 3 wire nuts in here, I guess a metal cap of some sort, maybe to cover over that, but I don't know, we'll see what that is, and then, yeah, that's it for that. In the back, that comes out though, they got another bag over here, some more mounting hardware. Here's what it looks like. Here's the measurements. Like I said, that's why we put this on there, so you guys can, see what's going on up here. Have an idea of this size. Okay. I guess that's how far it's going to be from from your wall. So it does look a little tilted, but hopefully it'll be fine. Hopefully you could just move this box a little bit. So it does look a little tilted. This box is not straight with this. That's what I can tell you. See, you guys can see it in the video. So I don't know if that's a product error. I'll be able to tilt this, but I'm trying to move this and I don't want to break anything. So just to let you know, that's how it came. And on the back, guys, here is your, that's going to be where your GFCI is over there, because you're going to have that, you know what I mean, to make sure it's grounded properly, especially for outside. Then they got the box on here, well, you know, the box bracket that's on the back right there. 2 mounting screws. This is normal sconces and stuff like this. Has the whole, you know, all kinds of light fixtures have this kind of stuff. I mean, it's a very simple, straightforward. If you install these, you know, I've installed probably thousands of these things in my past already. Right, so I pulled out the bracket like that. These are adjustable, these screws and nuts right here, depending on, you know, your box type and size and everything like that. So that's going to come out like that. Like I said, this is just an unboxing review just to show you what it looks like. You know, we're going to come back and do an installation because you can put this thing in so many areas, and I like to do separate the videos. This way they're easier for everybody to find. So when you're looking for the instructions, it's in a video. You know, not everybody who's looking for installations, looking for instructions or whatever. So they give you decent sized wires in here, I can tell you that. I mean, they look decent size. I'm impressed. I think they look pretty nice. You know, I guess because it's for 15 amp, you don't want this thing lighting on fire and getting bad reviews on Amazon, because then no one's going to buy the product. But I do like that. That is pretty cool. There's all the stuff in there that kind of says what's going on. And then this is the you know, that would be the sensor for outside. That daylight, you know, the dusk till dawn sensor right there would be right there. Because I guess if it breaks, you can change it out. You can order these, which will be cool. But so this is a spring-loaded door. Very impressed on the door for the price. You know, usually back in the day, something like this, I guess because you can make things so cheap overseas, this thing would be like 80, 90 bucks, where this thing was what, 40, 50 bucks? That's pretty good, guys. So this is a spring-loaded door. This way you don't forget. So it always closes it to keep the elements out and stuff like this. Stuff like that. But guys, I would install this under an awning, okay? I wouldn't really install this without anything over it, okay, to protect it. Only reason is I don't see any like rubber or anything in here with this kind of outlet, so that means it's not going to last you a long time. I mean, maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe 3 years, and you think that's a long time. I don't know, depending on your area and your environment, if you have harsh conditions. But for my area in New Jersey, with the snow and the rain and the heat and all this other stuff and the expansion, I find that elements are still going to get in here if you don't have an awning over this. What I would have done is, you know, I would have rather had some kind of rubber closed, you know, thing. You know what I mean? Because when you go out in other locations, guys, and you guys did installs with me, we installed watertight boxes together. I remember we did a couple of them for I think a backyard, and I don't know, we did a couple installations, guys, in the video. So I remember we did that together anyway. So those ones, like you saw, they have a rubber gasket and they close properly to protect it, you know, from the rain and the elements and stuff like that, where this doesn't have that. So I'm just saying to make this thing last a really long time. All right, so anyway, on the glass, this is not any kind of etched glass or anything like that. So let's open this up and see what we got going on here. This looks like it's not even, you know, but I'm guessing it comes off from here. Like I said, this is very self-explanatory. It looks like, you know, a very similar design to all the ones that you see across the board, you know, because, you know, they're not going to change it up too much in this price range. You know what I mean? Not until you probably get to 150, 200 bucks, they're going to start, you know, showing you some stuff. All right, so this is not LED. We do have to get an LED bulb. I thought it was LED, but we'll just get an LED bulb in there, not a big deal, okay? As long as it is compatible with LED, because you know some sensors and some switches are not compatible with LED, but I would think in this day and age it would be. All right, guys, so it's not like, you know, some of the glasses, they look fuzzy or whatever, so it's hard to see through them, you know, whatever, like your bathroom shower. I don't know what they're called. I can't think of them right now. But that kind of etched or whatever kind of weird. So this does have a small design on it. It looks like little raindrops. So maybe that does make some kind of a design when this is on. We will see it after I do the installation tonight. Hopefully tonight, and then we'll be able to finish this, because we have a lot of projects that, as you've seen, going on. So we got to keep moving forward and getting this done. So hopefully I can do this tonight, so we can, you know, get the next project and the next project, and, you know, get these installations and everything going on here, so we can, advance and move forward, get on, new stuff or whatever we can do to help people out. So pretty much, so that's what the glass looks like. That's the lines in there. So we'll see what that looks like later. This will come off if you got to change the bulb, I guess, if you can't reach your hand in here, because I can't reach my hand in here, and there's no cover for the bottom. So that must be if you can't reach your hand in there, then you're able to do that. But we're not going to have a problem. I'm a little kind of person here. All right, guys. So the top is loose. Hopefully that doesn't, go anywhere or do anything, but it is loose, and hopefully it'll just sit there. Nothing really goes to tighten it that much that I can see. Oh yeah, it does. Here we go. I spin this ball. There we go. Tighten this ball a little bit, guys, on the top here, and then it'll tighten this up, and then you're fine. Don't over crank this. I see this can break on you, I bet, and then you're gonna be pissed. Oh, sweet. Okay, guys. So, guys, this does move easily. See this nut right in here? If you loosen this nut up, this will be able to move, and then you just tighten this up again. Or I was able just to fix it myself, because you guys saw that wasn't even. And when I set that up, I have a problem. You guys know me. I have a problem making stuff the right way. All right. So last but not least, let's just measure the size of this glass. Okay, and put the measurements on there so you know what kind of bulb that you're dealing with, okay? So I wouldn't really go over a 3-inch in diameter bulb, okay? Just to let you know, you're gonna be looking at problems if you go over a 3-inch diameter bulb. And a 3-inch diameter bulb, you are gonna have to take off this cover, every time you have to change it or anything, just to let you know. But if you go with a probably a 2-inch bulb, if you go with a 2-inch bulb up here, guys, the bulb will be about this big, and you can still fit your fingers in here and be able to get the bulb out. Okay, so a 2-inch or a smaller bulb, small hands, you can get the bulb out without taking this off. If you want to go bigger for whatever reason, specialty lights or whatever, you can go up to 3 inches in here, but you're gonna have to take the cover off. Okay, and that's about it. And then you saw how it went apart and put together. I mean, pretty simple, straightforward. I can't wait to install it and finish the installation, do the installation with you guys later on or whatever. That's going to be awesome. All right, everyone. So that is it for Glen Velvet Reviews on the unboxing review, just to show you, what's going on. And now we can look forward to the installation, and we'll get that done as soon as possible, right? But if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. I would love to know. Also, subscribe to my channel. Join me on my review adventures as I try to put up stuff to help out the community, just like I get help from the community, right? And if you can, unless you dislike me for any reason, you could support the channel by clicking on those affiliate links below. Somehow, some way, times a million equals into something. But from what I saw, there are other ways to support the channel on YouTube. And if you do decide to support the channel, please make sure you come back, see that I'm putting that support back into it, getting more stuff to review, doing updates on the items so we know we're getting a good value, and also helping my subscribers with any questions they have on the products I already reviewed. All right, so everybody enjoy, be safe, Glen Velvet Reviews is out. Bye-bye, everybody, and I will see you later.